Perkyplanes and RC here, operating at 2.4 gigahertz, and of course, got the good old coffee. Nice and hot. Well, hey guys, it is one of those wonderful New Year's posts from the channel here. So let's kind of dive in and get started here. I do want to mention I'm sort of getting over a little bit of a sinus infection, so I might sound a little bit different. Um, so I was kind of reviewing things, and like last year's New Year's video and everything, um, and just sort of reflecting on 2022 and doing the whole look forward to 2023, and getting all philosophical and everything like this, and just thinking about what things to make things better and things to improve upon, and the good old New Year's resolutions and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just that's been kind of on my mind, of course, and that happens with every new year. um, I do want to go ahead and reflect a little bit here on 2022, um, just because I really haven't publicly announced this on the channel regarding 2022. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna kind of bring it up, but I'm not gonna go still too much into detail in regards to 2022. What I'm talking about is 2022 was a very tough year, more on a personal level. Um, and the reason for that is we had some very close family members that have been in the hospital with some pretty serious things for probably a good half the year, it seemed like. So I feel like 2022 was pretty rough in that sense, because it's just one of those things that make you realize that, like, in the blink of an eye something can change, and it could lead you down this path or whatever. But you can chug along and do your thing, and then, like I said, just something can just all of a sudden just snap, and something else is going on, that you need to focus on. And that's kind of how I feel about 2022. I felt for the most part it was a good year, but it was very, very rough in a sense for that period of time. And I feel like, and not just for myself. I mean, this was actually more. I think my wife felt it more than anything else. Um, but it really, really did kind of shake us to our core, and like I said, made it for a rather tough year. So I feel like 2022, and the events that were going on really had an effect on a lot of things. This channel being one of them. So I feel like 2022 was a very, very tough year in that respects. And really, when I kind of think back to things too, 2021 and 2022 were very tough years in terms of the activity on this channel. It was very slow, not a lot going on, and too much other stuff going on as well. So, because 2021 we had the whole house move process going on and everything. So, I feel like the past couple years in this channel have been a little bit tough, just to try to find time to do things because other stuff is going on. I feel like in 2023, hopefully we can sort of improve that. But again, anything can change in the blink of an eye. You just never know. Anyways, that's kind of what has been going on with the with 2022. I do want to say this, and I noticed this from my first video for 2022, is that in the first video I did on 2022, I had actually got my new hanger here. So I find it kind of funny that I started 2022 with a new hanger, completely blank. There was hardly anything in the building at the time, and now I've got what I would honestly say is too much stuff. So, uh, and of course, been working on it as well still, and it's been a work in progress. So, but anyways, let's talk about 2023. So, again, I don't have much planned. I think for the past couple years, I've been not really planning things per se. I feel like in the earlier years of the channel, I probably did have a sort of plan for what I wanted to do in the new year. But the past couple years, nah, that's kind of off the table at this point. It's just like, let's just do whatever life brings us. So let's just go ahead and do whatever life brings us. Um, Whether I'm talking about new projects one day or whether I'm talking about old projects the next day or something. Just whatever. Let's just get the ball rolling. Like I said, I don't want to do any kind of focus on any new or any certain plan or any idea or anything. We're just going to dive into stuff and just do it. Like I said, hopefully this will be a much more stable year. I know here towards the end of 2022, things personally we're more or less stabilizing and getting back to their more usual thing. So hoping 2023 that things remain relatively stable for the most part, and we can get some things accomplished and do some things and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't have any plan for this channel at all. I just do what interests me at the time and share it with you guys. Kind of like my little RC adventures, you will, if you will. Just to kind of just share my experiences, because um, um, especially because I of how much interest and how much fun I have in the hobby, but also with the recent governmental, or especially with the recent government related changes, I feel it's important that we kind of get out there and showcase our hobby in any way that we can, um, and as much in a positive light as well, since we've had a lot of these changes starting to come down the pipe. So I'm all for that as well. I know some people, like I said, like I said in the last video. I know some people have been naysayers and are quitting the hobby and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna keep trucking along, guys. I mean, that's all there is to it. But yeah, 2023, no plan. Let's just get out there, have fun, do some things, get dirty, um, and so hopefully things will kind of remain stabilized personally, and we can kind of get there and have some fun, and do some things. So, but yeah, that is my New Year's post, if you will. So, um, hey, one more thing before I finally close things up here. Something I wanted to kind of mention that I'm going to be changing in 2023 is actually back on the radio side of things, and it's nothing too extreme. Nothing too extreme, nothing too bad. I'm not completely abandoning OpenTX or anything, so don't worry about that. And I think I kind of hinted at this in some previous recent videos, but what it is that I love the OpenTX and the radios and all that kind of stuff. I have no problems with that. But the problem I have is I feel like the Tyrannus, the protocol it uses, and the receivers, I just honestly have this fear that those guys are going to be obsolete and discontinued at some point. Um, Not just from, well, I just feel like they're going to be obsolete and discontinued at some point. And I think that, it's starting to kind of show that as I've been, wanting to buy a new receiver and all that. So, I'm kind of falling into that little situation where I'm thinking, am I going to have to buy secondhand receivers just to keep using this thing or what? And which I have no problem with, but it says something when your radio is discontinued and you can't get stuff for it much anymore. So they still make the receivers. It's just I've noticed it sort of gradually getting phased out, and like I said, I kind of worry that that's going to happen. So I think what I've decided to do is get a different OpenTX radio, and actually that brings me to my next point. Is I have a few airplanes around here, um, some of my old faithful airplanes that I've had since the beginning are actually Spectrum and E-flite products, and the way they're set up, it would be very, very difficult and time consuming to replace the receivers in these guys because, well, they're the micro airplanes, and my focus is not so much to go back to Spectrum to use those, but what I'm thinking of seriously is a multi-protocol system. So, and I have been looking pretty heavily at the Radio Master radio because it will actually do the newer OpenTX type protocols as well as having capability and compatibility. Is it compatibility or capability? Or both? To actually do Spectrum-based receivers as well. So I could fly my Spectrum airplanes as well as my newer OpenTX stuff with the same transmitter. So I'm really looking kind of heavily into that. So I'm thinking Radio Master I might actually go with. And I know some guys have actually made that transition and love it. So So thinking seriously about doing something like that. Like I said, nothing against OpenTX or anything like that, or even against any sort of new things with it. It's just I want something that is a all-in-one box that I can control multiple airplanes with and not have any trouble with. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with this. So, all right, guys. Well, I babbled on enough here. Um, like I said, I can't speak for much from a personal perspective because the year just started. We don't know what's gonna happen, and what's coming around the bend. But because like I said, it can all change just like that. So, but regardless, hoping to go into 2023 with a new focus, new, full steam ahead, and just see what we can get ourselves into. Okay, so like I said, no set plan, just pedal to the floor and let's go and do some stuff. All right, so what is it? Build, fly, crash, repeat. I believe is the old saying: build, fly, crash, repeat. Do it all over again. Same thing. That's what we're gonna be doing. All right, guys. Well, that is all from me. Like I said, I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year as well. Try to stay out of trouble, and that's it. We'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.